Good day everyone. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Welcome to SS041. This is the life and works of Dr. Jose Rizal. And I am Sir E, that's with an exclamation point, your online class instructor. Thank you for joining me today. At sa araw pong ito, ang ating pag-uusapan ay ang isa sa mga nobela ni Dr. Jose Rizal na Noli Me Tangere. Sa wikang Ingles, ito po yung tinatawag nating Touch Me Not. Now, Rizal compared the Philippine society to a man inflicted with stage 4 cancer in his book Noli Me Tangere. A little touch would make the sick man flare up. Similarly, one more little abuse of the Spaniards would spark a revolution. Now, Noli Me Tangere, literally translated, the Latin words is Noli Me Tangere, touch me not, taken from John chapter 20, verse 17, when Mary Magdalene holds on to Jesus and he tells her not to touch him. Jesus said to her, stop clinging to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But be on your way to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and to your Father and to my God and to your God. Now, if we're going to look at the cover of Noli Me Tangere book, you will see here the different depictions of what these covers actually stand for. Okay, so tingnan po natin dito kung ano yung mga representative noong cover po na mga ito. Okay, so you look at the cross here, which speaks of the suffering. Okay, and then you have the pomelo blossoms and laurel leaves, which speaks of honor and fidelity. And you see here the silhouette of a Filipino, which is the representative of Maria Clara. And then you have here the burning torch, which speaks of rage and passion. You have the sunflower here, which talks of enlightenment. The bamboo stalks that were cut down but grew back, which speaks of resilience. And then you see here a man in a kazakh with hairy feet, who are the priests using religion in a dirty way. You have the chains, speaking of slavery, the whips of cruelty, and then you have here the helmets of the Guardia Civil, which speaks of arrogance of those in authority. Now, the cover of Noli Me Tangere is replete with a lot of portrayals of what was happening in the Philippines during this time. Now, Latin Touch Me Not, this was originally Noli Me Tangere was written in Spanish, definitely not in Tagalog. And the earliest English translation of Noli Me Tangere in the American period was entitled Social Cancer. Okay. Now, did you know that Noli Me Tangere was supposed to be a collaborative effort? In 1884, Rizal proposed to the other expatriates for them to collaborate in coming up with a book that would highlight kung ano ang totoong nangyayari sa mga Indios dito sa Pilipinas. Subalit, the people kept delaying the project, and so Rizal decided to just forged on his own these novel. Now, Rizal finished the novel in December of 1886. Rizal feared the novel might not be printed and that it would remain unread. A financial aid came from a friend named Maximo Viola, which helped him print his book at a fine print media in Berlin, Germany, named Berliner. That's the name of it. I could not pronounce it properly because it's in German. Anyway, now in the preface of his novel, Rizal promises to reproduce the condition of the country. Also, he wants to sacrifice to truth everything. And Rizal wrote in his dedication page, in Oli Metangere, I will strive to reproduce the condition faithfully without discriminations, and I will raise a part of the veil that covers the evil. Here, he clearly stated his intentions of giving an accurate picture kung ano ang kondisyon ng Pilipinas at that time, and this gives the reader a good idea of what the main theme would be. Now, Noli Me Tangere was the novel that was to shake up the power in the Philippines, at least according to Austin Coates, who is one of the biographers of Dr. Jose Rizal. Now, Rizal's book persistently unmasks contemporary Spaniards in the Philippines of every kind. In-expose niya rito yung korupsyon na nagaganap sa ating bansa, lalo na sa mga Guardia Civil, which drive good men to crime and banditry. Here, he focused on an administration crawling with self-seekers, okay, out to make their fortune at the expense of the Filipinos. Now, Rizal does not, however, spare his fellow countrymen. He taught of the superstitious and hypocritical fanaticism of many Filipinos who consider themselves religious people. He also exposed the ignorance, the corruption, and the brutality of the Filipino civil guards o mga Pilipinong Guardia Civil. And also, he exposed the passion for gambling. Okay? Ang pagiging sugalero ng mga Pilipino, which he thought of as irresponsible sa side ng mga Pinoy. Okay? Rizal nevertheless balances the national portrait by highlighting the virtues and good qualities of his unspoiled countrymen. Yung modesty and devotion ng mga Filipina, yung pagiging hospitable ng Filipino family, yung devotion ng parents sa kanilang children, at yung children sa kanilang parents, yung pagiging pagkakaroon ng utang na loob or having that sense of deep gratitude, and also the solid common sense of the untutored peasant. And here we see the Noli the calls on the Filipino to recover his self-confidence, to appreciate his own worth, to return to the heritage of his ancestors, and to assert himself as equal to the Spaniard. And it insists on the need of education, of dedication to the country, and of absorbing aspects of foreign cultures that would enhance native traditions. And so here we see the symbolisms in Noli Me Tangere. Rizal said that the people and events of Noli Me Tangere are representations of Philippine society in the past decades, meaning he's referring to the 1870s. And now let's look at the characters of Noli Me Tangere. Definitely, we will first look at Ibarra, or Juan Crisostomo Ibarra y Magsalin. He is the son of a Filipino businessman, Don Raphael Ibarra, who studied in Europe for 7 years. Ibarra here is also Maria Clara's fiancé. Upon his return, si Ibarra po ay nag-request sa local government of San Diego to construct a public school para magkaroon ng edukasyon sa kanyang town. Okay, now, si Crisostomo Ibarra is considered as a protagonist in the story. He is the character in whose character the main conflict resides. It is easy to identify the external conflict. So you talk about Ibarra versus the society of his time, Ibarra versus Padre Damaso, and Ibarra versus Kapitan Tiago. So these were all of this. Now, Ibarra was an idealist, okay? And he represented the Ilustrados, who thought of education as the only key. And in Ibarra, we can see Jose Rizal's very diplomatic side. Now, you see here another character, main character, whose name is Maria Clara. Okay, she was raised by Capitan Tiago, and in the latter part of the novel, Maria Clara's identity was revealed as an illegitimate daughter of Padre Damaso. Okay, also we know of she is representative of the maidens in Rizal's time. She's an icon of purity and beauty, very much religious, very loyal to her boyfriend. Now, if we're going to compare her to the 21st century Dalagang Pilipina, I think there are a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences, just the same. And then you have Capitan Tiago, who was a Filipino businessman and the cabeza de barangay, or the head of the barangay. Is also said to be a good Catholic, a friend of the Spanish government, and was considered as a Spanish by the colonialist. Okay? Siya po ay representative ng mga mayayamat at mga ambisyosong natives, tinatawag na sipsip sa mga Kastila. Ignorant, blind of the Spaniards' abuses, who has a colonial mentality. And ang question natin dito, marami sa mga tao ngayon are very much reflective of these characters of Kapitan Tiago. And then you have Don Raphael Ibarra, ang tatay po ni Crisostomo Ibarra, who was persecuted by Padre Damaso, and his corpse was dug up and thrown into the river. Ito po ang dahilan kung bakit, isang dahilan kung bakit galit na galit si Juan Crisostomo Ibarra sa mga pare, lalo na kay Padre Damaso. He was a symbolism of grave digging. The Spaniards deliberately extracted from our memory the greatness of ancient Malayan culture. In real life, siya po ay si Mariano Herbosa, okay, na bayaw ni Dr. Jose Rizal. And of course, ang main antagonist in the story, si Padre Damaso, is a Franciscan friar and the former parish curate of San Diego. He is the real-life father of Maria Clara and an enemy of Crisostomo's father, Raphael Ibarra. Later, he and Maria Clara had bitter arguments whether she would marry Alfonso Linares or go to a convent. At the end of the novel, he is again reassigned to a distant town and was found dead one day. Okay, si Padre Damaso ay isang tipikal na praile sa panahon ni Rizal. Isang glutton, he was sexually engrossed to Filipino woman, and he loves humiliating his enemies and very much abusive of his power. And then we have Padre Salby, okay, another character representing more traits of friars in Rizal's time. He was very much lustful of Maria Clara, and he was cunning and scheming, and he kept a lot of secrets as well. And then we have Elias. Si Elias po ay ang misteryosong kaibigan and ally of Ibarra. Elias made his first appearance as a pilot during a picnic of Ibarra and Maria Clara and her friends. He wants to revolutionize the country and to be freed from the Spanish oppression. Now, si Ibarra po ang nagre-reflect or nagre-represent sa masa na ang tanging paraan lamang para makalaya ang Pilipinas ay ang revolusyon, and this shows Rizal's revolutionary side. Of course, we have Piloso Potasio, who was seeking for reforms from the government. He expresses his ideals in paper written in cryptographic alphabet similar to the hieroglyphs and Coptic figures, hoping that the future generations may be able to decipher it. The educated inhabitants of San Diego labeled him as Piloso Potasio or Tasio the Sage, while others called him Tasio el Loco or ang baliw na si Piloso Potasio due to his exceptional talent for reasoning. Now, si Piloso Potasio po is reflective of Pasiano Rizal, whom he considered as a man full of wisdom, the reflection of the wisdom of old Filipinos, which says that we are not dumb as what the Spaniards were saying. Okay, and then we have Doña Victorina, who's representative of the Filipina social climbers, aloof towards Filipino natives, but very much of an opportunist, who would later on marry a foreigner just to fulfill her dreams. Okay? And then we have si Narcisa, si Crispin, at si Basilio. They represent a Filipino family persecuted by the Spanish authorities. Now, si Sisa po, o si Narcisa, is the deranged mother of Basilio and Crispin. She was described as beautiful and young, although she loves her children very much. She can protect them no matter what. Okay, from the beating of her husband, Pedro. Si Crispin naman was the 7-year-old son of Sisa, an altar boy who was unjustly accused of stealing money from the church. And after failing to force Crispin to return the money he allegedly stole, Father Salby and the head sacristan killed him. Sad story of Crispin. And then you have Basilio, who is Caesar's 10-year-old son, an acolyte tasked to ring the church bells for the Angelus, and he faced the dread of losing his younger brother and falling of his mother into insanity. And then of course, meron tayo rito si Sisa ang nagre-reflect sa ating inang bayan who has gone crazy, lamenting the loss of her son. Si Sisa po ay nagre-represent naman kay Doña Chodora Alonso din kahit papaano. Okay? And then you have Basilio, who's representative of the youth, who is the hope of the fatherland. Now, the plot here revolves around Crisostomo Ibarra, a mixed-race heir of a wealthy clan, returning home after 7 years in Europe. Okay, and filled with ideas, very idealistic on how to better the lot of his countrymen. Now, the death of Ibarra's father, Don Rafael, prior to his homecoming, and the refusal of a Catholic burial nito mula kay Padre Damaso ang nag-provoke kay Ibarra para suntukin itong si Padre Damaso, for which Ibarra was excommunicated. The decree is rescinded, however, when the Governor General intervened. Okay, so ito po ay yung mga tema naman na makikita natin sa Noli Me Tangere. Unang-una, kalayaan mula sa Espanya. Ang Noli Me Tangere po, this reflected yung persistence ni Dr. Jose Rizal in attaining freedom from the Spaniards. True enough, as Rizal aimed to redeem the country and its people by exposing the barbarity, the greed, the cruelty of the Spanish colonizers. It was the first project, okay, such a bold account of living in the 1800s dito sa Pilipinas. Hindi lang po iyon. Ang isa pa sa mga theme ng Noli Me Tangere ay yung mga social climbers representing the various classes of society during the late 1800s in the Philippines. Kaya po sinama dito ni Dr. Rizal ang mga personalidad katulad ni Doña Victorina at ni Kapitan Tiago, because these characters show how people tend to associate with the higher class of society, specifically the Spaniards and the Ilustrados, or the learned ones, and the mestizos. And of course, another very a very evident theme in Noli Me Tangere is the abuse of power. Having been colonized by Spaniards since the 1500s, the author, or Rizal, depicts the Filipinos suffering from the abuses of the civil guards, the friars, and other government officials, just as Crisostomo Ibarra, the main character in the novel, experiences these through the death of his father. This theme in Noli Me Tangere definitely came to life. Now, the question is, was Rizal pro-revolution? Yes, but not yet. Okay, at least in the novel Noli Me Tangere. So we see the masses and the elite must join hands in fighting a common enemy, because, again, for Rizal, the elite alone or the masses alone will not get the job done. Now, we see now the transformation of Ibarra. In the beginning, he was very diplomatic. At the end of Noli Me Tangere, he became very bitter and believed in a violent armed struggle. In El Filibusterismo, he then transformed into the radical-minded Simon. But at the very end, the character of Simon ended up as a failure, and so he died. Rizal was saying that a revolution would never work. And that wraps up our discussion on Noli Me Tangere. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa atin. Again, this is SS041, The Life and Works of Dr. Jose Rizal. At ako po si Sir E, ang inyong online instructor. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay sane. God bless you all. Again, this is Sir E now, signing off.